Good day, folks. Welcome to Just Omer. And I want to thank the folks here at PBTV for, again, giving me this opportunity to share with you what's going on at the Grafton County, New Hampshire government up in North Haverhill. I am Omer Ahern Jr. I am the District 3 Grafton County Commissioner, serving the towns in the southern and eastern part of Grafton County. The northern part goes up to Campton and over to Warren and then over to Groton and Canaan and over to Orange and then down to Ashland and Bristol and of course Hebron, Plymouth and Holderness and all the towns in between. I serve with two other county commissioners. I serve with Commissioner Wendy Piper, and she's the District 1 County Commissioner. She also is the chairperson of the Grafton County Commissioners. District 1 encompasses the towns of Hanover, Lebanon, and Enfield. And then we also serve with Commissioner Linda Lauer, who is from District 2, which is the towns in western and northern Grafton County. Together, we're all responsible for all of Grafton County, but we're just elected from our districts. And one of the things that, you know, again, I'm amazed at is how many people really do not understand or know about county government in New Hampshire. There are 10 counties in New Hampshire, and each of the counties has a county board of commissioners, and they all are supposed to be serving under a statute that's been around since the late 1800s. And this statute directs there be a board of commissioners to do three essential things. Number one is to manage and operate a county nursing home, which we do in Grafton County, to maintain and operate a county house of correction and jail, which we do in Grafton County. And also by the statute, we are to have a county farm. And back in the 1800s, late 1800s, purpose of the farm was to feed the residents in the nursing home and the residents or the inmates in the house of correction and jail and the employees, the nursing staff, the correction officer staff. And so these are the three main functions of county government. Over the years, some of those things that some of the counties have taken on are kind of outside the statutory purview of county government here in New Hampshire. And as a result, there's been, you know, a pretty significant increase in the cost of county government to you, the county taxpayers, if you live in Grafton County. Another big part of the ultimate operation is the county budget. And the county commissioners propose a budget to the county delegation. Now, the county delegation is made up of all of the state representatives that are elected from within the geographical confines of each county. So the Grafton County delegation is made up of all the state reps that serve the people here in Grafton County. They have the final say over the county budget. The commissioners propose a budget, and we're on a fiscal year that runs from July 1st to the following June 30th. And the county delegation can add to that budget. They can take away from that budget. But ultimately, they have the final say, and they're supposed to, pass a budget. Now, there are some statutory, obligations on the county delegation. If they do not pass the budget by a certain date, then the proposed county budget, the proposed commissioner's budget, will then go into effect by default. And that doesn't happen very often. Usually, in my years of service to county government here in New Hampshire, the delegations are very good about, passing the budget. Again, many times they will add to the budget, and sometimes they will reduce the budget a little bit. So in Grafton County, again, we have 3 county commissioners, and we are responsible for a 130-bed county nursing home, which is located up in North Haverhill. Right now, because of the challenges of COVID and actually trying to find enough nursing staff, and because of the rules and regulations that have been imposed upon us by the federal government and the state government, the state of New Hampshire, we find that we have lost some nursing staff so that we cannot even plan on filling 30 of those 130 beds. And the other item that we're responsible for, as I stated a little bit earlier, is the running and the maintenance and the operation of a county jail and house of correction. And we have a 150-bed correctional facility up in North Haverhill. And we have about 82 residents or inmates in the House of Correction, some of which come from we have a few from Coos County, a few female inmates from Coos County, and so we have a report every month from the superintendent there. So, and of course, we still have the farm operation. We are the last county in New Hampshire to still have an active working dairy farm. And we also grow vegetables, some of which are fed into the House of Correction and the nursing home. And we sell a lot of those vegetables. And so I'll be talking a little bit about the farm operations a little bit later in my presentation today. So the commissioners, Grafton County Commissioners, met yesterday, November 1st, and we met at the nursing home activities room. And we started out with the Pledge of Allegiance. Then we recognized some employees who were not able to attend the employee recognition dinner a few weeks ago. And we recognized some of the nursing home employees for their long years of dedicated service to the people of Grafton County, specifically in the nursing home. And so we handed out some pins for years of service, and I think each one of them also got a Grafton County sweatshirt. Then we met with Karen Clough, the Human Resource Director, and she gave us a pretty comprehensive report. And her report each month, she reports on the number of new hires within the county. We had 9 new hires in the nursing home, 9 part-time, 7 part-time and 2 per diem. 6, the positions that were filled within the nursing home were 6 dietary aides and 1 part-time housekeeper and 2 per diem LNAs. So that's 9. Then we had in the Sheriff's Department, we hired 1 full-time deputy. And at the Department of Corrections, we hired 3 part-time corrections officers and 3 full-time corrections officers. At the farm, we hired 1 full-time farm assistant and 1 part-time farm assistant. And in the Registry of Deeds office, we hired a full-time assistant deputy register of deeds. However, the next part of her report are the separations, the people that have left the employment of Grafton County. And so The nursing home, we lost 14 employees in the nursing home. We lost 5 per diem LNAs, 2 per diem registered nurses, LPNs, and we lost a full-time LPN. We also lost a full-time LNA and 2 part-time restorative aides and 2 people from the dietary department. So all these people that we hired do not even equal the number of people that left the employment of Grafton County. And we also hired a full-time unit secretary aide within the nursing home. At the same time that we brought in 6 people at the Department of Corrections, we had 2 full-time people leave the Department of Corrections. We lost a full-time corrections officer and a full-time cook. At the county attorney's office, we lost a full-time assistant county attorney. Went back to working at her previous position at the state of New Hampshire. At the farm, we lost the full-time farm, a full-time farm assistant, and in the deeds office, we lost an assistant deputy register. And then in the maintenance department, we lost a full-time maintenance assistant. And the reasons these folks move on is some have personal reasons. One was terminated. We had some vaccine mandate issues, new job, career changes. 10 of those folks, new jobs or career changes outside the county. So these are the issues that we're dealing with, and we're actively looking for people in the nursing home, advertising on social media, in the newspapers, on Indeed. So we're looking for people for the nursing home, of course, nursing, non-nursing, Department of Corrections, the Sheriff's Department, County Attorney's Office, the Human Resource Department, and Alternative Sentencing, and the Maintenance Department. And so we're looking for folks to come and work for the county. We are talking with the folks at White Mountain Community College. They did a site visit to try to start our own LNA classes in-house at the County House of Correction. And if we do them in-house, chances are when we educate them, they will stay at the Grafton County Nursing Home. The next person on the agenda was Craig Labor, the nursing home administrator, and he also gives us a pretty significant report from the nursing home. And right now we have a census of 84 residents in the nursing home. We have 4 Medicare residents, 61 Medicaid residents, 1 VA, Veterans Administration resident, and we have 2 hospice folks there, and then we have 16 private pay residents for a total of 84. The nursing home administrator, Craig Labor, indicated that we had 2 admissions planned for later on this week, so it should bring us up to 87. But again, we've budgeted for 100, and 30 of the beds, which would be over the 100 because we have 130 beds. We're still not even meeting our budgeted amount of 100 people. So Craig gave us a report on the COVID issues in the meadow floor at the nursing home, and we haven't had any we've had no positive residents for the last 3 weeks. But again, the last few COVID positive reports have not had any deaths resulting. So again, these are Craig and his staff, his nursing staff, are outstanding. They do a fantastic job. And but again, they're under a lot of mandates from the federal government and the state government. But Craig and his staff are doing a great job. Then he talked about the changes in the CMC regulations and updates, and they are pretty much now saying that we no longer have to mandate the vaccines, so-called vaccines, for nursing staff at the nursing home. And then the third item, and this is something that we voted on, was the purchase of a new industrial washing machine, and the county commissioners did indeed pass a motion to approve the purchase of a industrial washing machine for the nursing home, and this was going to be purchased from Daniel's Equipment Company, and the washing machine we're purchasing from Daniel's Equipment Company is kind of in keeping with the other washing machines that we have there at the nursing home. And this is going to amount to a $28,124.25 purchase, most of which has been budgeted. But when this was budgeted, we hadn't seen the anticipated all the inflation and the other increase in costs, so this is a little bit more than what we had anticipated, but we need that industrial washing machine at the nursing home. One of the other big issues right now at the nursing home, and we had a little bit of a discussion about that, is television reception and the age of the television equipment. And our residents there in the nursing home, they like to watch TV. And a lot of the folks like to watch football. And, and then some of them have some TV shows that they like to watch. But we're having trouble with television reception and television equipment. And Craig and his team are working on that. And we'll keep you posted on that as things go ahead. The next item on the budget, on the agenda, was Jim Oakes, the maintenance superintendent, and he came in to talk about some major issues that we're contending with. One of the things that I'm constantly trying to do as a commissioner is to identify and try to implement new ways to save money for you folks, the taxpayers. And one of the issues that I'm seeing is because we purchase our drinking water from Woodsville Water and Light, and we also purchase our sewer services from Woodsville Water and Light. And we also purchase, the county complex purchases its electricity from Woodsville Water and Light. So we're looking into developing our own water supply on the county properties. We have a 750-acre woodlot that I think we could find some, and we've identified. We started looking at the well situation, and Mr. Oakes has identified, gave us a written report as to the success of the drilling of a test well and how many gallons per minute. But it looks like we may have to develop a total of 3 to 4 wells in order to meet the needs of the county and to also meet the requirements of the state Department of Environmental Services. So we're on the right track there, and we're also trying to find a way of getting our own sewer system in-house, on the county properties for taking care of our own sewage. And with these two things, we should be saving a lot of money for you, the taxpayers, and we won't have to buy all this drinking water from an outside source. Right now, a lot of the drinking water that we're using is we're purchasing it from WB Mason, a vendor, and I'm trying to figure out we're trying to figure out a way to reduce that cost as well by having our own water supplies. So we're working on that. So that's where we are with that. And again, there was the motion to purchase the nursing home, the new washing machine, clothes washing machine, and so we've already discussed that. So a lot of things going on at the county. We did have also a meeting yesterday afternoon with the folks that are very much involved with our farming operation. And one of the decisions that was made by the county commissioners yesterday is definitely not to discontinue the dairy operations. We are going to continue the operation of our dairy farm. We're not, we've reduced the number of cows that we're milking, and but there are some opportunities to develop some partnerships with some of our neighboring farms, but we are going to keep the dairy operation. We have the land to continue to plant different types of vegetables, but the last 2 seasons we haven't planted the variety of vegetables that we have, historically grown at the county home. But we have continued to grow potatoes, winter squash, pumpkins, sweet corn, and of course corn to feed the dairy cows, cow corn. And so we're working on that. But definitely we're going to be looking at working with the cooperative extension folks to do a lot more educational opportunities there at Grafton County. But we will continue with the dairy operation. We will continue definitely growing the winter squash, pumpkins, and potatoes. Now, we did not have a good year for potatoes because of the drought and then the rain that came and caused us to pretty much lose our red potato crop. We didn't have as successful a white potato crop, but all of the potatoes that we were able to dig up have all been sold. But there weren't really any red potatoes that were sold. They were just not available to be sold to the public. So we do have some winter squash. We have some buttercup squash. That's kind of the roundish green things. And so we do have some of those up at the house at the county farm that can be purchased by the public. The farm stand has been closed for the season. We still do sell chicken eggs. Those can be purchased by going to the dairy barn and meeting with whoever the farm staff is working at that time. But we're definitely looking into keeping our pig operation. Our piglets are very popular to be sold, and so we want to continue, if we can, with our pig operation. And of course, I'd like to continue with our chicken operation. So these are some of the things that we're going to continue to do at the farm. But we're expecting a change in the makeup of the county commissioners, and ultimately the decision as to what the future of the farm is going to be is up to the county commissioners. And again, we've got to make sure that we can find enough staff to work on the farm. And the other thing is we need to make sure that we can have a certain amount of labor coming out of the Department of Corrections. And that labor from the Department of Corrections has been a real challenge the last couple of years because of COVID and the court being shut down. And believe it or not, the bail reform has had a significant impact on the amount of people that we can get from the Department of Corrections to work on the farm. But, you know, we've got some very dedicated farm staff there. Ben White, our head herdsman, has done a fantastic job over the last 10 years that he's been working for Grafton County. And Ben, you know, we met with Ben as part of that committee yesterday. And Ben is, you know, dedicated to continuing to work for Grafton County as our herdsman and making sure that we have the finest dairy herd in the Northeast. And we're there. Yeah, our milk is very much appreciated when we sell it to Agrimark, and so it goes out into, you know, the public as it's processed. So this winter we're going to be, you know, looking at what types of things that we might be able to do next year. We're definitely going to be growing pumpkins. We're going to be growing winter squash. Again, buttercup squash, butternut squash, and a few blue Hubbards. We're not quite sure how much sweet corn we're going to grow, if any at all. But it depends on how labor intensive the vegetables are. So that's why we haven't grown any, you know, tomatoes and cucumbers and summer squash and beets and carrots and things like that, because those are very, very labor intensive. So that's where we're going. Again, I look at the farm and the woodlands as sources of revenue for the county to try to help to keep our county tax burden down on you folks. We are looking forward to a major timber harvest on our woodlands during this winter. The county forester, Jim Frone, is working on that. He's working on you know, identifying the trees to be cut and then getting you know, a logging operation in there to properly harvest the trees, and as a sustainable harvest. We don't really clear cut an area unless it might be a small patch clear cut in order to encourage the growth of certain trees in that area. So we have a lot of opportunities in Grafton County. There's a lot of things that we can do. We want to work with the 4-H youngsters, and we've had some good success with one of the local 4-H clubs, and we're very proud and pleased to be able to partner with the 4-H groups. And again, we're hoping to partner with some local farmers on different parts of agricultural adventures going forward. So if you have any questions of me, you know, we got an election coming up next Tuesday. We don't know how those elections are going to turn out. Commissioner Lauer is retiring. She is not running for re-election. So we know we're definitely going to have a new county commissioner from District 2. There may be a new commissioner from District 3. But right now we know that Commissioner Piper will be coming back. So we'll see what happens on November 8th, and we'll see what happens. So I urge all of you, please go out and vote. Voting is very, very important. You know, the proper voting opportunities are out there. So please do that, because that's what we need to do to maintain our republic of the United States of America. If you have any questions of me, right now as a county commissioner, you can contact me at my office, 603-764-6024. That's in Wentworth, New Hampshire. I have an email at omer.ahern.jr@gmail.com. Again, I appreciate the service that I do for you as a county commissioner, and I really do appreciate working with Commissioner Piper and Commissioner Lauer. And I want to thank, again, the folks here at PBTV for allowing me to do these regular reports. They're not quite weekly, but I thank them very much. And as I close, I say, God bless America. God bless the great state of New Hampshire, the granite state of New Hampshire. God bless America. Thank you and take care.